Hey, great Thursday evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville. I'm a little bit disappointed, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I actually expected, to have use for my San Marcos, which I spent all night, digging out of the closet. I literally spent all night digging my San Marcos out of the closet and finding my pink tutu because today it was supposed to be cold. And I wanted to wear my pink tutu in the middle of the cold winter. And the puppy agrees.
You
Erasmo,
have
the pink
you
tutu
have a
is
pink
just,
tutu for real?
of course I do. it's do you not do y'all not know me? Good evening, guys. Hey, Saucillo family. Hey, Abraham, Miami bound. Good evening, Joe. It's gonna be an interesting night, guys. Yeah. Sandra, good evening. Good evening, guys. And I'm not going to get to all the comments, but I promise that I might. Uh, good evening, Pedro, and good evening, everyone. Hey, guys, good evening. And it has been a crazy day. Besides me wearing my tutu and no San Marco use today, este, um, with my pink pumps because I got pink pumps, and y'all be surprised that I actually know what that is, right? No, not
No,
surprised.
not really. I'm
Din,
not
din, din, din,
surprised.
din, 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 din. Pink pumps, and it's a crazy, crazy day. Again, it was supposed to be cold. It wasn't cold at all. But let me tell you, got a little bit heated out there at the BISD board meeting this afternoon. And I figured, hey, since we're going to talk about the BISD board meeting, let me see if Miss Ida Vendano and Miss Veronica Borrego from AOB, had some time to come and share with us, what their thoughts were in regards to what we experienced. I will say that starting off those public comments, there was one word that came into my mind. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's definitely on fire. Miss Ida, what's going on, Miss Ida?
It's getting to that point. It's getting to that point. I mean, you can't help to get to that level of frustration when you have this amount of people that are upset, that are in tears, that are wanting to leave. I mean, that I take that personally. That hits my heart. These people have given their career to BISD, and it doesn't mean a thing to this top administration. And I was very upset during the public comments, but I got even more upset afterwards. So it's just unbelievable. They want to try to hold everybody else accountable, but they can't hold themselves accountable for their mistakes. I mean, come on, you're not perfect. So if you've made some mistakes, be man enough to own it. And, we can't be denying them. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And that's what's frustrating. So, but
It is very frustrating, and I think, and we're going to start off with a meeting. Then we'll go into. I know that y'all had a live forum today. We'll go into y'all's live forum, and we'll try to take it as everything transpired this evening. But it was a busy,
we had
busy
a live
evening.
show, not a forum. You're all in forum mode. You're all like, it was just a live show. We didn't have a forum.
Oh, the live show. Let me tell you, as I I was watching the start of the meeting today, and after y'all spoke, once they started to go into the justifying all their actions and all their emotions, I was out there screaming a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. Liar! Liar! because all I heard was lies after lies after lies. But before that, there was a motion that was going to be tabled because the individual that had requested that it be placed on the agenda couldn't make or didn't make the meeting this evening, which was Ms. Laura Perez Reyes. And, you know, out of respect, she respectfully asked that the measure be tabled so that, when she be present, she could address the reason for placing it on the agenda, despite the fact that it did have two, I guess, two sponsors. Those two sponsors, they flip flopped. They fell on their face because even before the start of the meeting, while they were trying to prove the minutes to the agenda, Sylvia Atkinson took control of the board. Again, took control of the board and directed the board on how they were going to proceed in regards to the item that was requested to be tabled. Because let me tell you, folks, Sylvia Atkinson to this day controls this board and controls this administration 100%. Nothing has changed. She has been indicted for taking bribes, taking money from a federal undercover agent. And to this day, to this moment, she controls the superintendent. She controls his staff at the Glass Palace. She controls HR. She controls purchasing. She controls employee benefits. And she most definitely controls this damn corrupt piece of crap board.
It's been very, very apparent from the beginning. Baltasar Salazar wasn't going nowhere. Sometimes it's hard to go against the current, to go against the waves, and that's an attempt made by Miss Laura Perez Reyes. They left her by herself. The individuals who placed the agenda item, they turned on her. What was said? What was the thought process of these individuals to protect the board attorney? One could only speculate. One would think that with the evidence presented against Mr. Salazar, that they would give him his walking papers. But for whatever reason, this board is adamant of allowing the new board to decide his fate. Now, one thing that bothers me is that we should have voted today. We should have taken action today. There was it was tabled. There was an amendment, and then it just died. I've kept on saying it time and time again. It seems like Mr. Baltasar Salazar has 9 lives, so to speak. So it was apparent that the ladies on the board, with the exception of Ms. Laura Perez Reyes, were not going to vote to terminate his contract. Mr. Philip Cowan and Minerva Peña, the board president, are up for re-election. What backlash would they be receiving? Did they give their opponents ammunition leading up to early voting? Is Ms. Argelia Miller, Vito Cardenas, going to use this against Mr. Philip Cowan? Is Marisa Leal, Coach Joe Rodriguez, going to bring it up against the Madam President? It doesn't sit well when there is evidence to show that this individual shouldn't have been hired. He got a no confidence from HR, or he got a recommendation not to hire back when the board president was still on the board. So again, there's a lot of questions as to the decisions and the thought process of these incumbents of protecting the board president. So, in my opinion, if I was Ms. Argelia Miller, Vito Cardenas, Marisa Leal, Coach Joe, I have ammunition. I have something to say, hey, community, these individuals did not take action when action needed to be taken. And that is unfortunate because that is what we're dealing with moving forward.
Well, it's very, very unfortunate. Look, guys, it's very, very simple. I know that there's a lot of evidence out there in regards to going back and forth. And what Sylvia brought back on the table was, well, O'Hanlon and someone, this other attorneys, they've said that Baltasar Salazar is A-OK. guys, this group that said that Baltasar Salazar was A-OK has given this board and given this administration faulty advice in the past already. Because anyone and everyone that has been brought into the district is controlled by Baltasar Salazar anyway. So again, they don't need an opinion from an attorney that's already in the pocket of Baltasar Salazar. They need an independent audit, an independent attorney who is going to tell them the truth. So I knew at the start that this O'Hanlon recommendation suggestion was going to go against Ms. Laura Perez Reyes. It was! But it's not what was important. Let me tell you, what is important is that Baltasar Salazar cannot be trusted by any board member that's in the minority. And unfortunately for Ms. Laura Perez Reyes, she found herself not only in the minority, but actually the only one fighting the system. She was the only one that stood up to Baltasar Salazar, Sylvia Atkinson, and the corrupt board. The only one. Because as much as little Eddie wants to put his name on things, Miss Farquad? Is it Fartwad or Farquad? Fartwad or Farquad? Does anyone know Farquad? Farquad. Which one is it? Fartwad or Farquad?
Farquad.
Farquad?
Are you talking about Shrek?
Yes. No, I'm talking about Little Eddie. Is it Farquad or Fartwad? Which one is it? I can't remember. I was a serious question. Why are y'all laughing? It's really a serious.
Veronica.
I'm serious. I think Lord Farquad out there. I mean, he abandoned the fight. Didn't know what to say. And of course, Philip flipped. But anyway, so that's what happened at the start of the meeting. So it was taken off the agenda for right now. We'll see if it comes back on the agenda for October. If not, I'm going to guess that it might come back in November. But then again, remember, guys, that the new board is going to be elected on the 3rd of November. They're having a meeting on the 6th of November. And unfortunately for us, on the 9th of November. Is it the 9th of November?
The 10th, no?
Not sure. I know that the election is Tuesday night, November the 3rd. November the 10th should be. They should have already the ballots by then. What's it called?
Cast.
They already cast the ballots. They already counted the votes or something, whatever. So hopefully by the 10th, the new board is going to, make the tough and the right choices. But again, that just depends on the community. But that we'll be discussing that throughout early voting, I'm sure. And ask, it's an opportunity for all people out there to ask the candidates that are running for office right now. Are you going to stand up to Baltasar Salazar, Sylvia Atkinson? But look, guys, let's be sincere. Sylvia Atkinson has a candidate in each one of these races. In my race, it is very evident who that candidate is. In Carlos Elizondo's, it's very evident who that candidate is. And Minerva Peña has always been a puppet of Sylvia, and Denise Garza is in her pocket like you wouldn't even believe. That's simple. So anyway, guys, if you all want some more of the chaos, then pues ni modo, it's on you. If you want something different, you need to make sure that these people don't come back into office. None of them. So I don't care. Which other ones you opted to choose for. Do not bring back the incumbents or Lord Farquad or Fartwad. I'm still thinking it's Fartwad. Fartwad.
I'm next.
Sorry, Lord Farquad, if I offended you. Anyway, then after that vote, they did have, Drew went into a little spiel about the Centennial Foundation. Guys, have y'all had some information in regards to the Centennial Foundation?
I have not. I heard just a little bit as they were talking about that. I don't have a lot of that information, but they were trying to discredit it. But from the little bit that I paid attention to of that part,
Well, I have a little bit of information to it, and let me tell you,
shocker.
Drew hates every single of the employees she used to work with. She hates them all. She doesn't give a rat's ass about anyone. She doesn't, especially if they're Mexican. Just doesn't care for them. She only likes to hang out with her good little group of little girls that they tell her how beautiful she is and how great she is. And for some reason, she's just like, I'll take a bullet for Sylvia Atkinson. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I'm not trying to imply anything, but if something's there, my goodness, it'd sure make a good little soap opera miniseries or something or other on one of those channels for women, like was it Life Story Channel or what's that channel that women watch?
LMN.
S&M? I'm not sure.
Lifetime Movie Network.
Lifetime. It would make a good little miniseries on Lifetime or any other word. But they got this little thing going out there. God only knows what. But she's adamant in regards to anything that Dr. Sendejas did was to decimate it. And part of that was actually fart. It's fartwad. Farquad. Ah! I said it wrong. It still sounds better as fartwad, but anyway. So she just wants to decimate anything that Dr. Sendejas, affected for the district. Now, the Centennial Foundation, what it was teachers out there, teachers who gave of their own money, in order to give back scholarships to the students in their schools. So, let me tell you something, guys. I mean, I thought at first, I was a little bit skeptical in regards to the foundation. I was skeptical, but then I actually went to Lopez High School when they were out there distributing the scholarships. Do y'all know that Lopez High School has some of our poorest students in the city of Brownsville? Let me tell you guys, my staff, my teachers at Lopez High School were the school that actually donated more money to the Centennial Foundation in order for our students at Lopez to get that scholarship. So what happens is teachers, they had such an amount of money extracted from their check. And my teachers out there at Lopez High School, let me tell you, they are very, very generous because they love their students. Yes, Lifetime Channel. Sorry, man. Oh, and I have some information for everyone here. You were running for office, offered contracts to friends in exchange for cash percentage. I have the proof. I miss you, Sylvia. I'll miss you more even when you go to the slammer. I'll be ecstatic. And you know what my dream is? That you get placed in the male population. Because putting you in the female unit does not serve justice. The male population, at the male department, serving out mail. Anyway, so the school they extract these monies from the teachers, and at the end of the year, they're giving back to the students as scholarships. And Lopez was the one that usually gave more scholarships, especially that time that I was there. So I asked a lot of teachers. I said, "Hey, what's your take on the Centennial Foundation?" And they said, "We love it because we love our students. We love giving back to our students." So since then, I was a fan of the Centennial Foundation. Well, Miss Drew, along with her bullcrap audit little group out there that she appointed, Sylvia appointed, well, they went out there and investigated for the whole year, spending time and resources, trying to find something that Dr. Sendejas or the staff attorney Miguel Salinas did wrong.
And you know the worst that they came up with? That sometimes employees would work on the Centennial Foundation while they were working at BISD. And I'm going like, really? You've got tons of people out there sitting in little cubicles doing nothing because you're paying them 80, 90, $100,000 in a bullcrap position. And you're going to be upset with someone that spends a couple of hours in the afternoon on the clock in order to distribute checks, scholarships of $1,000 to our students? No, but shut up. No, but shut up. So that was the Centennial Foundation. Do y'all have any questions, anyone, on the Centennial Foundation? No.
You know, it's unfortunate that something that does good is being criticized. There were some questions as to, you know, the address that they had on being the address of the Glass Palace and things like that. But I would have loved to have seen BISD partner up with this organization, because at the end of the day, it gives back to our community. So for it to be criticized the way it was, didn't sit well with me. I understand maybe that they wanted the credit for it, but there's ways of working together. And at the end of the day, as long as we're giving back and trying to improve the academic or even just the livelihood of young men and women, we should be in support of. But again, I think it's all ego. I think it's, oh, if it's not coming from us, then we don't want it. Again, there was questions as to the validity of this, of who was running it, of bylaws, of this and that. But if we can work together to be able to do positive things within our community, I think we can not overlook things, but make sure that things get corrected. That way, we're on the same page here. Because at the end of the day, the ones that are benefiting from it is our community, and that's something that we always should strive on. What ways can we do to give back to the community? And South Texas, Brownsville, Texas, is one of the poorest areas in the nation. Not a lot of students, not a lot of young men and women have the opportunities, the resources that students from Rancho, from Veterans, Hannah, other schools that they have. So we should do everything possible to, as a district, we should work with any and all organizations to try and improve the lives of those less fortunate, so we can encourage them, motivate them to continue on in their academic careers.
Well, guys, one thing that was said at the meeting was that Minerva Peña said, I don't know anything about the Centennial Foundation. She said that. Yet she's listed as one of the founding individuals, as well as Mr. Chirinos, as well as Dr. Sendejas.
Wow. Could you blow it up, Erasmo?
I could try.
Okay.
The company has 3 principals on record. The principals are Esperanza Sendejas from Brownsville, Texas, Hector Chirinos from Brownsville, Texas,
Wow.
and Minerva Peña from Brownsville, Texas.
And Miss Peña didn't argue, didn't say a peep. Wow.
No. She said that she didn't know anything about this.
Wow.
Do you think she forgot, Erasmo?
Minerva tends to have, this type of memory that recollects things that are convenient to her, and not recollect things that are inconvenient to her. But in regards to the Brownsville Independent School District Centennial Foundation Corporation, Minerva Peña knows about it. Minerva Peña was one of the 3 individuals that was a principal to it. And that's what I hate, guys. Because again, how do you know that these folks are lying on the board? Every time you see their lips move. Every single time they see their lips move. Threatening Erasmo at his own show, so you stop being a bully. How much have you paid the community to make up stuff? You guys can't handle positive things because you get furious. I don't know what the hell Rob's saying. Uh, see, Lucy. So still the question remains: what is the plan for a soft? Oh, we're gonna get there. We're going to get there. So that was the Centennial Foundation. And after the Centennial Foundation, then they went into, the item that was placed on the agenda. And the item that was placed on the agenda, sounded pretty amazing. And let me tell you, folks, it had a lot of people fooled. It had a lot of people fooled. Because let me tell you, throughout the day, a lot of people would ask, well, so does that mean that we're not going back onto campus at least till January 2021? And I said, like, well, it's the right thing to do. We've been saying it for months. Well, guess what? It was all fluff. It was all fake. It was all a show that lasted 2.5 hours. I'm not saying the whole meeting because the meeting's still going on. It was all fluff. That section was all bull crap. And despite the fact that they use these deceptive little things to make people believe, all a bunch of crap. So they all voted 6-0 on Ms. Peña's motion and Mr. Garcia's second because they were adamant to get their names on there because of the election. Listen, folks, the election. Oh, discussion and consideration and possible action on extending virtual distance learning for all BISD students and faculty for the entire 2020 fall semester. Is that what happened? Did anybody else watch the meeting? Let me tell you what happened. What they voted on, really, this is deceptive. This is bullcrap. What they voted on was to instruct the superintendent to continue to work as hard as he has already to communicate with the governor of the state of Texas and with TEA to permit them to distance learn throughout the fall semester. That was the actual vote. Not this. Because this is how they lie to you. This is how they want to make it seem or pretend that they actually give a rat's ass about. Rats, I can't say ass. Sorry, church people. A rat's behind about you. This. It's all deceptive. And let me tell you, throughout that whole meeting, he was out there adamantly defending that they were out there being proactive and not reactive like Erasmo was saying. Proactive. And they were ordering hotspots. It's not true. And they were ordering Chromebook, iPad. It's not true. It's just not true. That they were giving proper PPE. Again, it's not true. And at some point, guys, I start to think, man, maybe I am going nuts, Maybe I am going crazy, Maybe they are doing what's right. But then I start to hear the concerns of my people out there working for the district. And then I start to get visits, not only from staff, from principals saying, Erasmo, help us. We don't know what else to do. Everything from custodial staff, FNS, office workers, teachers, counselors, diagnosticians, principals, assistant principals. They're asking for help because they can't no more. And you know why Ida, Beto? Because my people, they have to share and they have to donate to the GoFundMe pages for the individuals that have lost their lives, for the individuals that are still at the hospitals fighting for their life,
That's right.
individuals that this board till this day has yet to recognize as victims of COVID 19. And the reason is they don't care. They don't care. So it's all fluff. So the vote today was all bullcrap. It was just a show to make Minerva and little Eddie look good. Because to them, folks, it's all about the election. It's all about the election. And they continue to deceive you. They continue to try and manipulate you. They want you to come out and vote for them this November the 3rd, this October the 13th. Guys, it's very simple. If you think that they have done a good job, the board, the superintendent, then go and vote for my opponent. That's simple. If you think that they have done a good job, go and vote for Daniela Lopez Valdez, who will continue to be a puppet of Sylvia Atkinson. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Continue to vote for Sylvia's puppets. Continue to vote for the incumbents and the tapon, Lord Farquaad. I said it right. Continue to vote for them. And you will sign the death certificate of more of our employees and the pink slips for many of our staff. Ida?
Definitely. I mean, if we continue to sit back and support what is currently in office, what is currently, the decision makers, then how can we expect anything different? We have been more than patient. We have long enough. We've given them more than enough chances to be able to address some of these issues, and these people are not capable of doing that. So I have no faith in them anymore. I'm sorry it's gotten to this point, but of having to be so blunt, because there's no other way to get across to these people, to the top administration, to the school board members. So they've left us no other choice. And one of the reasons I was upset with what we mentioned at through public comments was that, sorry, that makes me laugh. He's just picking his teeth. One of the things that was addressed was about the lack of hotspots with the data, appropriate amount of data, and a lack of devices and appropriate PPE. And then when Dr. Cantu went to speak, she mentioned something about that she doesn't really think that the principals are holding onto this PPE or to these devices. And well, maybe let me clarify it for her. I wasn't saying the principals were holding on to it. We have amazing principals and staff and directors that are doing the best that they can with what they are being given, with what they have to work with. So let me be crystal clear on who we blame the state of where the district is right now. It is the superintendent, Dr. Rene Gutierrez, and it is the two deputy superintendents, because it is their decision making of what they are doing or lack of decision making that has this district in this position right now. We're not ready properly for distance learning, and we're not ready either to return to the workplace because they didn't properly prepare for either one.
Nope.
We all entered this pandemic at the same time in the Valley. So there's no reason that McAllen should have it more together than we do, that PI has it more together than we do. There's no reason. But I can guarantee you that those districts don't have 2 deputy superintendents assigned to them with the same amount of students and staff that we have. So there's an issue there. There is a big issue. We've all been in this at the same time.
100%. I received a mini grant from the Centennial Foundation in 2018 as a teacher. It was an amazing grant, and I was able to use in my classroom. They also rewarded us with a nice sit-down dinner and banquet. Let me tell you, and Drew is not only very racist, but also a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite because Drew, for many, many years, while working as a PI, public information officer, she was the one that directed the superintendent's golf scholarship, golf tournament, which produced scholarships. So she was a part of all that stuff. It's just her hate for Dr. Sendejas. Her hate for Dr. Sendejas is the one that drives her, and her love affair, her love with Sylvia Atkinson, which should be a Lifetime movie, would make her take a bullet for Sylvia. So God bless them tomorrow in federal court. God bless them tomorrow in federal court. God bless them. They better tell the truth. So yes, Drew, you better tell the truth. Better tell the truth, even if it means having to give up your little beautiful Sylvia, imbecile. Vero, one of the things that y'all did as an association is y'all have submitted some documents in regards to a vote of no confidence. What is that all about?
Well, since this, well, pretty much since he started, but it has been a huge increase in calls from our members, from non-members who try also, and sometimes we have time, sometimes we don't, because we've been bombarded with calls from members of the community. Just the morale is so low. There is, just hearing the way that he talks about the employees and the things that he says, the lack of transparency, the lack of communication, the lack of support for the teachers, for the staff, the lack of compassion, I can go on and on. We've just, our members have just reached a point of, we're done. We're done. I'm getting messages of people like, I'm going to quit if this doesn't change. I'm ready to leave to another district. I'm going to retire early. Different things it's just, and it's nonstop. It's not like they said, one person, one comment, one whatever. It's not like that. It's a lot of people that want and desire change and want to feel support and want to feel that they believe in them, that they trust them, that they're working and doing their job, that their safety is a priority. It's so many things. And, our members just reached a point of no return. I don't know, Ida, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit that right on there. We didn't want to put BISD in bad light right now because a lot of the employees, they're very, very proud of where they work, and they should be. But at this point, we couldn't hold back anymore because of what's at stake here with their lives. So that is why we had to launch that petition, and we couldn't hold off on it anymore. And you can find it on our Facebook, on our website also, and on the links of today's show from earlier today. So you can sign that petition and share it. And if you're fearful of signing it, I understand, but you can go ahead and have find 10 other people to sign it. And yes, I probably needed like an hour, and I would have really, or probably even more, because I'm speaking on the members' behalf. I've got nothing to gain on this. I could sit back and I'm working safely from home, but it hurts to hear our members going through this, and we can't sit back and not do anything about it. Erasmo, I saw you put up one of the questions from a Lucifer
Yes.
about I didn't get to see it all, but can you put it back on there?
Actually, I look and let me explain something. Lucifer Morningstar, and let me tell you guys, I don't mind Lucifer Morningstar coming on here, and he's probably got another page. I don't mind Lucifer Morningstar coming out here and calling me out. I do not take individuals coming out here and calling out my guests, but it alluded to supporting criminals, and Veto's father would be very upset.
And the thing with that, I would like to speak on that. And if you don't mind, Vero, even though Vero doesn't need anyone to speak for her, she's pretty good at speaking for herself. But we don't decide who our association endorses. We put it before our membership. Okay, so it doesn't matter who we feel is a better fit as a board member. We put it to our members to vote. We're not like another association that's going to have a secret meeting and I'm going to decide what I want as to support as a candidate. Okay, that's not how AOBE runs. Okay, so it is what the majority of the members vote on, and we have to support that. I would have wanted to supported 5 candidates because we need to hold people accountable and bring change. But for a certain position, what came out ahead was no endorsement, and we have to stand by that. We cannot change that. We cannot put it back out there for another vote. That is what came in. So what our membership goes with, that is what we support. So I don't speak, or neither does Vero, on our own behalfs. We go with whatever the membership feels that is the best fit. And then it is our job to hold those candidates. And once they become elected board members, to hold them accountable. And that is what we will do.
And this is the only organization that functions that way. And that comment, although was probably meant to be hurtful, doesn't do anything but drive me harder, because I knew my father. And hiding behind a name like that, I don't know who you are. You probably didn't know my father, but I know that my father is in heaven jumping for joy, because I took a position that he had previously when he fought to build up this organization locally. And I would never, ever do anything to deter the growth of this association because of what it meant to my dad. And he would be beyond proud of me. So
Absolutely.
That comment, although it was probably meant to be hurtful, doesn't do anything but do the opposite and drive me harder.
Well, one of the things I think that I'm sure that y'all have experienced is something that a lot of individuals have experienced, that try to affect some form of change, something different. And it's horrible, because let me tell you, it's like these type of individuals like Morningstar and these Robs and these Sylvia fake accounts and Charlie Atkinson people. That's the only thing that they have, is to try and attack your family, to try and attack your folk, to try and attack your character without an ounce of evidence or an ounce of proof. And one of the things that we signed up for this because we are running for office. But let me tell you, folks, it's again, I'm not going to sit back and let individuals come on this nude feed that are going to be attacking our guests. I don't care who they are. I mean, it takes a lot to come on a show like this. It takes a lot to come in a show like this because we don't shy away from the hard questions in any way, shape, or form, as long as they're asked respectfully. Do not drag any guest's family or try to hurt a sentiment especially one when you have an individual that has passed away and is no longer with us. That is just low, but it is typical of individuals that have no argument, absolutely no argument whatsoever. It is very, very unfortunate. But I'm going to say this again. In my time running for office, in my time that I've had an inkling in regards to anything political, I have never faced or have ever seen a more important race for the city of Brownsville. A more
Absolutely.
important race for the city of Brownsville. It, we as a community are at a fork in the road, not a farquad, a fork in the road. We are at a fork in the road, and either we continue to march on to the path of corruption, the Sylvia Atkinsons, the Ratas, the Rene Gutierrez, the Baltasar Salazar, the Minerva Peña. We continue on that road, guys, or we go a different path, which I could guarantee you and promise you is going to be a better path. Because, goodness gracious, guys, we've been dealing with this crap for decades now, decades. And we have never, ever, ever had such an amazing opportunity to affect the change that our community deserves. And I accept the responsibility of the outcome of this election. I accept the responsibility of the outcome of this election. And I hope that every single other candidate running for office in this election accepts the responsibility of this election. And that is one of the reasons why I've told every other individual out there that's running against this corrupt political machine that they better work their bones off. They better work it like they've never worked anything before, or else you will be left behind. Because the responsibility that is placed on the individuals that are running right now against the corrupt political machine is great. It is life changing. It could mean the actual life of our people here in the city of Brownsville, here at the district. Frankie.
Running for public office is not easy. One understands that when we go into this political world, everything's going to be thrown at one's way. I was prepared for it. I spoke with my friends and family before I made my announcement, and they were so excited. And we need individuals who are willing to stick out their necks out there. And if we have to talk about our past, we'll talk about our past. We have nothing to hide. On the contrary, we have everything and more to offer to this district. It's unfortunate that individuals will rely on blogs, rely on innuendos, instead of relying on themselves, on their merits, on what they have to bring to the table. We are 40 some days away, 40 some days. Well, actually 33 days away, October 13th, 33 days away from early voting. I have yet to hear my opponent's platform, her goals, her merits, why she deserves to be in place too. And that's something that I'm willing to do each and every day. I'm willing to be on this platform to make sure that my community knows how I stand on each and every issue. We've been at this since back in March, and I will continue to do so. It is an honor for me to have the community, us as a community, come together and have a dialogue, because that's something that we need on the board. We need board members that are going to listen. That's a very important trait to have. We need to listen. We need to listen to the concerns of our community. So this election is very important. And I'm sure, Erasmo and ladies, and I'm sure that the community is tired of this administration. We have seen how time and time again their concerns are overlooked. We thought that by putting on the agenda item that we were going to go to distant learning, we're like, oh, finally. But what did we hear from the board? Oh, well, we spoke to Senator Lucio, and it's going to be a state thing. It's going to be a TEA thing. So it's out of our hands, guys, and we got to go back. We got to be safe. But what about the BISD employees that passed away? What about the positive cases that have been arising throughout BISD. They made it seem like if this COVID, guys, was just like a flu or like a cold. Oh, you'll get it and we'll be fine. No, this is a matter of life and death. There was a comment on here stating that, Miss Ida spoke about it too, in regards to preparation. There has been no preparation, whether for distant learning or going back into the classrooms. We are winging it, so to speak. So again, we need somebody in office that are going to listen to our community's concerns, but more importantly, guys, somebody that's going to take action regarding the issues that are most important to us.
Let me say, in regards to Me Too, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting that you have Patrick Hammonds and Mr. Alegria in the audience applauding this superintendent, applauding the bull crap that they try to dish out. Patrick Hammonds, the president or the leader or the whatever he's called of BEST, and Alberto Alegria, the let me take your money from the dues, Alegria from TVEA. You see, the dog agrees.
She always barks at the right time.
And really, it's disgusting that they were out there applauding this board.
That was upsetting.
My opponent in this race, Daniela Lopez, whatever her name is, was in the audience applauding. Jessica Gonzalez was in the audience applauding this bullcrap. Applauding. When the board said, and if y'all remember, guys, I posted the videos. If you remember correctly, she wouldn't answer the question as to the mishandling of this district. When the question was asked, do you believe that the district has mishandled this COVID situation and what would you have done differently? She didn't respond because she agrees with everything that the superintendent has done, what this corrupt board has voted for Sylvia Atkinson to continue to milk the system. I mean, they're still getting money from vendors, from Linebarger, from Eric and Garza attorneys, from Baltasar Salazar. It's not a joke, folks. It's nothing to applaud at. Not when my people are dying. Look, you know what's more disgusting? They mentioned Ms. Barrera passing away from Hudson. Oh, moment of silence. And oh, Minerva. Oh, the family. Jesus' blood. Jesus' blood. And then they start talking about the actions of this corrupt board and this superintendent, and the audience starts to applaud. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. Patrick Hammonds, Mr. Alegría, should be ashamed of yourselves. All for stealing the dues of our district's employees. Somebody chime in because I'm eating a pistachio.
I think it's really sad because we get the calls of the people in tears, in fear. We get the calls and to see that all this laughing and joking around and clapping during the meeting, and I mean that's I don't even have a word for it. Like it's as an employee and as a president of an association with members calling every few minutes upset and in tears and afraid and what are my options because I can't go back to work because I have this and then to see that, I mean, it's so upsetting that it's just totally ignored and shoved to the side as if it doesn't exist. And it's not one person. It's that comment was just ridiculous. Like, I cannot believe he even said that. And we're going to show him that it wasn't one person. He's going to see it wasn't one person.
Absolutely. It's just so upsetting for him to try to play that off and for those associations to be in the audience applauding that. I mean, what are you doing? And I was actually going to say, well, finally they were addressing some of the issues about no proper PPE out there. Okay, this isn't new. This has been happening since April. So, it took you that long to see that.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that, what, if you're doing a good job, great. And if you're addressing the issues or letting us know how you are trying to address the issues, then okay. But with this administration, and again, I will specify Dr. Gutierrez and his deputies, with them, they handle things completely differently. And oh, thank you, Norma. And we cannot sit back and just be okay with it that, oh, it's going to fix itself. No, it's not, because he doesn't care. And I don't know why it is, if it's because he's not from here. I don't know. Or he's just a cold-hearted person. I don't know. But that is why he's got to go. I'm sorry. Did we
Well, let me tell
already
you.
discuss?
What?
Did we already discuss the petition of no confidence? I'm sorry. It's been such a long day.
Yeah, we did a little bit. I have shared it on my page, and so please, as to anyone that agrees with AOB stance, please sign it, and please share it. And I will say, I've not only shared it, I have signed it as well. So it's the if you believe the same, please do the same. One of the things that I find very very disheartening is that it seems like every other word that comes out of their mouth is just a complete fabrication of the truth. And do they really think that they can keep our staff and our students safe on campus? It's impossible. Look at Los Fresnos. Los Fresnos, they had to send a whole classroom because one student got sent home. They had to disinfect the classroom today. This is in Los Fresnos, guys. And I love Los Fresnos. And guys, I mean, I'm being asked to help Los Fresnos out, and let me tell you guys, sometimes it's overwhelming, and I promise, and I will do my best. I will reach out to the board members in Los Fresnos who I have a relationship with, but guys, it's exhausting, guys. It is exhausting because the same way that Ida and Vero receive messages, I get them all day long. And again, please continue to send them in, folks. I mean, if it's just to vent, please do so. And I tell people the same thing that I'm going to say now. Please be patient. Please be patient. Give us the opportunity. I mean, it's only 55 days away on November the 3rd.
And we try that at Erasmo. We try to tell them to wait, but people are just so scared, and they're like, what if by the time that comes I'm already dead?
Yeah.
So I mean, we try, like, come on, the elections are right around the corner, like, and no, I mean, and I get it, they're afraid, and you can't calm the fear when you're not even being told something definitive, or an actual safety plan that is going to be put in place. It's so hard, and people have just lost faith and lost hope. I mean, that's what it is.
Guys, let me explain something, and I'm going back into something that we shared because I just got a message asking me, well, wait, Erasmo, didn't they vote on us as the not going back the fall semester? And guys, this is how deceptive they are, folks. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. That's not what was voted on, guys. This is what it looks like. And this is Minerva Peña and Lord Farquaad, little Eddie. This is what it looks like. Like not going back for the entire 2020 fall semester. That is not what they voted on. What they actually voted on was to have the superintendent reach out to the governor and to TEA and continue to fight for not going back the 2020 fall semester. That's what they voted on, folks. But that is the sleight of hand that they try to use. And then when they can't produce the necessary PPE or the necessary as the items that our teachers, our students need, like laptops, hotspots, then they say what Dr. Cantu mentioned to my nurses. Sorry, hazle como puedas. Sorry, hazle como puedas, Frankie.
And that's what we're dealing with. That's the type of mentality that we have. Figure it out on your own. What's more precious than a human being's life, right? That is the message that BISD is sending to the teachers and staff who are fearful. And again, we've been talking about this for quite some time now. These teachers, they're anxious. Their anxiety is through the roof. They're depressed. They're having emotional problems. They're worried about going back into the brick and mortar schools. If we can't even guarantee providing nurses with masks, which again, they brought it up. Thank you for watching Brownsville Talk. We'll keep the board members up to date with all the issues. But if they can't even provide the nurses with the proper PPEs, how are we guaranteeing the parents in the community that their children will be safe going back? They have not prepared going back. They had not prepared with having hotspots. That is what we're dealing with. And it's unfortunate that even with the number of deaths that we had within the district, with over hundreds of people in the city of Brownsville that have succumbed to the virus, like it still doesn't phase them. Like it really hasn't hit them in the forehead. Like, hey, hello, this is serious. So, but again, that's what we're dealing with. And I think the community is aware of that. And we know that we can have none of the incumbents return in November, guys.
According to the superintendent, the calls and complaints are only a few and not indicative of the whole district. Does anyone believe that? Anyone?
Well, I mean, that's what he was saying, and that's what the other associations applauded. But I think I saw somebody comment about that the petition of no confidence is at 220, but I just got a message. It's at 241. We launched it, we released it maybe an hour and a half ago or so. It was towards the end of our show. So it's already at 241 signatures. So then I guess it's not just one person complaining. So, then maybe we're not lying. I mean, I just don't understand how he had the nerve to say up there, stand up there and say that it's just one person complaining. And it's obvious that it's not. And he's going to see that it's not. It's going to be a heck of a lot of people. And this is going to come to the board, the current board, and even to the new board for some action to be taken, because he is not capable of running a district of this size. We are not Edinburgh, and no disrespect to Edinburgh, but he barely held on there. And he had his issues in Edinburgh, and I know because TSTA dealt with him there as well. So he's aware of TSTA and how we don't back down. But he barely held on to that position as long as he did. He couldn't handle that. He is not capable. I'm sorry, but he is not capable of handling Brownsville. Definitely not. He has really proven it by now. So again, we encourage you guys to please push this petition, because we are going to demand some action.
Sergio, the petition is on my page. Actually, it's on all my pages, and I got a couple. It's actually at 255 now, and it's going to continue to grow. Again, guys, this board, this superintendent need to understand that the community is more than the yes people that they surround themselves with. Because the yes people that they surround themselves with, they're going to tell him exactly what he wants to hear. And unfortunately for them, it's like the board when they're always complimenting each other. Oh, such a great job, such a great job. We're doing great job, great job. We're working hard. I mean, guys, they're not. When Minerva goes out there and says, we've been working on this since day one, it's not true, folks. Minerva is a liar. She's delusional. Her family that she got hired at the district are just as crazy as she is. It's a crap show, guys. It's a crap show. And these board meetings, it's just a crap fest. I'm not saying a crab like Las Jaivitas, a crap fest. It's a crap fest. There's no reason a special call board meeting should have to last more than 6 hours. There's no reason whatsoever. But it lasts that long because all it was is fluff. They want you to get tired of seeing the meetings and they want you to shut off. They don't want you to hear the stupidities that Minerva and little Farquad voted on. They don't. Shrek and Farquad, Minerva and little Eddie, they don't want you to laugh. Guys that are making those memes, don't get any ideas on Shrek and Lord Farquaad.
I'm sorry, who's Shrek?
Minerva? And Farquaad.
I just got a message, Erasmo, and I want to read it real quick.
Sure. Farquaad.
Somebody please address what Dr. Trevino said about special ed students having to go back. Her words were, after talking to principals and administrators, they thought we could not neglect sped ed any longer. Sounds like we haven't done bleep, and we don't care. We are and have been giving instruction and services. It is not the ideal situation, but we have not been neglecting them. That is very offensive to teachers who have been working so hard to get the job done. And again, this is it's disrespectful, it's offensive, it's demeaning, and people are tired. We're tired of hearing comments like that. I'm a special ed teacher too, and I can tell you I'm not neglecting my kids. I mean, it's just really, I don't even, it's so upsetting.
I think, that the issue there is they really don't even know.
No.
At the top, they do not know what the special ed teachers are doing. And that's why they continue to make these decisions. And that's why it's so upsetting and frustrating, because they do not take the time or make the effort to go and find out what it is that the special ed teachers are doing. Just like they did with this platform change that they forced on the educators. All of these things, they do not take the time to find out how it's going to impact the people who are actually out there. And that is just very upsetting. So, they continue to make those decisions and they continue to fall on their face. And that is why we're going to continue to call them out on it, because it is not right for our employees to have to be going through that.
I don't know. The more and more, main concern is how will they know which students are asymptomatic? They talk about all these machines and there's kiosks and all these other things that are going to spray and, shoot magic potions on top of teachers and students to make them invisible or something to the virus. It's not going to happen, folks. They had an opportunity to show us what their medal was really about when in regards to the PPE that was distributed to my teachers. They should have been a little bit more cautious in regards to distributing 20-year-old hand sanitizer. Should have been more cautious. It would have showed that they cared. Look, man, I had nurses. I've had nurses come in since yesterday to pick up masks, N95 masks that my community is donating. Again, shout out to Montoya's, Montoya Boys drive-through. Shout out to Montoya Boys drive-through, guys. invisible face masks.
Wow.
That box is green, but these are N95 masks, guys, and they are for all my nurses. All my nurses just come by, pick up a couple. I still have a good 60 of them left, uh, and those will be gone. Kevin Montoya has promised us another batch next week, a couple weeks. Be giving them out to our nurses, guys, and our nursing staff at the schools because we care. We
And that's
want them to
amazing that
stay.
they, I'm sorry to cut you off on
So,
that, but it's amazing
so
that they did that, but it's so upsetting because here we have, hundreds of millions of dollars on that, and we cannot put the proper PPE in the hands of these frontline employees. That's what they told them that they were going to be, frontline employees. And we cannot take care of them. And here we have a superintendent earning over $400,000. I'd like to see what he donated. I'd like to see what he's put out of his own pocket. And also these deputies. My gosh, it's just not right. And we're grateful for the community that is stepping up to take care of our Brownsville people. But the district should be doing that. That's unacceptable. It's so wrong.
Past our time. Vero, last words.
I just want everybody to know that we're going to keep pushing for safety, and we're going to keep pushing for what is right for the district. Little comments and things like that aren't going to deter our goal. And I just want people to know that I know that you're feeling hopeless, and I know you're feeling alone, and you're feeling scared, and we are going to do whatever we can to make that better in whichever way we can. And just know that we're here for you. Call us, message us, and we'll help in any way that we can.
Frankie, you got a question, I think. I think it's for you.
Frankie, where will you be finding all this money to fix all the problems you have observed in the district? Dig beyond the surface. It's not really about finding money, to be honest. It's mainly being responsible with what we have. We have seen how the district has purchased over $2 million worth of expired PPEs. And if it wasn't for AOBE bringing it up to light, we probably wouldn't have known about this. Also, another example that we have is being too heavy at the top. We have, I don't know how many AAs when we have been losing students at a rapid pace. Dr. Sendejas, when she was the superintendent, she didn't have as many. She didn't have no assistants. She only had minimal amount of AAs. Why do we need so many people in those leadership roles when we've had less students compared to Dr. Sendejas, who had us at an A district? If we were to minimize that, we would save a lot of money that could go to classified staff, that could go to raises, that could go especially to our special needs department. There's so much need within our district, but one of the things that we need to be responsible with our money, and that's something that the district has not been very good at. My opponent, one of her comadres, has a contract with the district for fixing light bulbs for millions of dollars. And one would ask themselves, why is she being pushed by a certain vendor? Because of the contracts. Because that is a job that our janitors, that our custodians could do. But what? We prefer to spend millions and put it in our compadres' pockets. It's not about finding money. It's about being resourceful. It's about being smart with our money. And that's something that we have been lacking at the district for far too long, guys.
And I'll answer this before I let Ida talk. Mary, I don't think it's a matter of opinion. I mean, you're talking about a community that's concerned. And look, I've seen the survey numbers in regards to the number of individuals who are requesting face-to-face and the others who are requesting continued home distance learning. And there might be some people that are okay with sending the kids back on campus. That's their call ultimately. But at the end of the day, the majority of the folks out there, easily an 80%, want to continue to distance learn. And if there's anything in regards that we've learned in regards to representatory governance, is that we go by the majority. The majority wants to be safe not only from coronavirus, but from the corrupt political machine that continues to decimate our community. That's what the majority want, and I'm hoping that that's what the majority vote on this coming November the 3rd, October 13th to October the 30th. But again, guys, if the community wants to continue to eat crap, then ni modo, let them eat crap. I mean, and voting for Sylvia Atkinson or for her puppets on the board, for her candidates in this race, it's just you eating crap. I mean, you as people, not people, but we have to adhere to the will of the majority, and the majority of the people in Brownsville have already selected and voted for distance learning. 80%. I've seen the numbers. Ida, last words.
Yeah, but those numbers of the 80%, those are still not final, because it says in those emails that the contacts that or the people they are not able to make contact with are going to default as a vote for face-to-face. So it's not going to be an accurate survey. So how fair is that? I mean, do we really want to get accurate information or not? But on closing comments, I guess I just want to say push this petition, really, because we need to bring about change. We need to hold people accountable. And like I said, we are going to take it to the current board with all these signatures and see what they have to say. We want to know what their answers are going to be with what the community and the employees are saying. And even if they don't take action, which we are pretty sure they will not, but we will see. We will take it to the new board after November 3rd. And Monday?
No, Michelle, tell Michelle my page. Tell my page, and send my everything.
So please forward this petition as much as you can. Anybody can sign it. They do not have to be employees. It's just anybody who agrees that Dr. Gutierrez is not fit to be superintendent of Brownsville. So thank you for your support. Thank you that it's almost already at 300 signatures. So I guess, Dr. Gutierrez, it's not just one person complaining after all. So thank you guys, and thank you for the opportunity to be here on the show with you guys tonight.
Thank you. I want to address one thing because it was a great comment. They did mention at the meeting that they were going to get these spraying machines and that these other things, these tunnels for football players. Guys, they don't want to even get N95 masks for our nurses. Do y'all really think that they're going to spend millions of dollars on equipment for people to pass through? It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. How do you know that this board is lying? Every single time they open their damn mouth. That's how you know they're lying. Guys, again, 300 plus signatures. Good job. Guys, guys, keep on sharing the petition. If you care to sign it, please. If not, please get other individuals to sign it. Let the people know what's going on. Guys, I'd like to say, as horrible as this may sound, I'd like to say that the only concern that we have right now is coronavirus. I'd like to say that. Unfortunately, it is not. The lack of empathy, the lack of sympathy, the lack of being able to relate to our community is a far greater disease virus than coronavirus could ever be. And it is what has been detrimental to the health, the well-being, and the life of many of our individuals already. And my fear is that it will continue to be so because of the irresponsibility, the lack of action, and the lack of care or concern from this superintendent and his Edinburgh buddies and this corrupt board. So, guys, it's not only time to start sharing a petition, it's also time to take up arms and to fight for the health, the well being, the lively of our amazing community. Only through unity can we bring forth the change that is so very much needed. Guys, it is in your power. You have the power. Right now, you may be afraid to sign a petition, but come October 13th, no one is going to know how you vote. That is your voice. Please choose wisely. The life of our community hangs in the balance. Guys, see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Stay strong. Uh, you know, do good things one for the other. Be good to each other. And please, please, please be good to me. God bless.